Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Renie's having technical difficulties. She said she'll be here in a minute, but I didn't want to wait too much longer. You know, I'm trying to be on time, and my head is glowing in the brightness of the light. So there we go. There we go. We'll make it a little darker, a little bit more sensual. So I thought I would talk about. Oh, there we go. There we go. As soon as I start to promote myself, Renie shows up. Thanks a lot.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you doing? How's everything?
I'm all right. Let me adjust my headphones.
Yeah.
A little
Long
finicky
time no
over
see.
here. Yeah, it's been a while. How are you? Hello.
Yeah. I've been checking out your campaign. I think I backed the first day.
Thank you.
I love your book. I can't wait. So you
thank you so much. Sorry?
I said you're doing pretty good. Good for you, man. I'm proud of you. Good for you.
Yeah, I guess pretty good. Especially for like a third book, so I'm very grateful. Thank you to everybody who has backed the book.
Yeah, I got my campaign going. I was prepared. Everybody says the second issue does like 50% of your first issue. What do you think about that?
I think it that seems to be the case. The first issues usually always sell more because I've been researching how much to do every print run, and you want to print the most of your first book because as the series goes on, it's not just necessarily because, well, people just don't get as interested. Because part of me is like, well, if your series is any good, more people will come back. There won't be that big of a drop off. But also, what I have been considering is price point. It starts getting really expensive to catch up on multiple books. So I expect a drop off at a certain point, but that's also like, this is getting into another subject, but that's also why I structured my story in arcs. So eventually you can compile multiple books into just one volume. So it's easier for people to catch up. And that solves the problem of you have to spend 25 bucks on, each book, and all that stuff too. And like that's becomes like $100 after you have 4 books out. So anyways, yeah, I think people should expect a drop off, but it's not a given that, well, every book's going to do 50% of the last one. That probably just means your story's not good enough.
Well, I was going to say, because I'm pretty happy because I did 8,000 on my first book, and I'm up to 6,000 on my second book. So I didn't really have
That's great.
I didn't have that drop off. I expected 5,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
So
that's really good. That's really good.
I'm pretty happy. I got to do like 6,000 to do a next book. So next book is in the works, guys. I just sent Renzo the script.
Yeah. Yes, awesome.
Yeah, and if I may promote myself, I'm keeping the secret, but somebody else who has their own book that's in comic book stores asked me to do 12 pages. They're going to do an annual, and they're going to have a couple of people do 12-page stories. I'm one of the 12-page stories. I'll probably be the last one, so when you're tired of reading, you get to my story. But it's really stressful. This is the first time I wrote a script for somebody else, and it had to be 12 pages, no more, no less.
Yeah.
That's
tough.
Yeah, that was tough to pace that. So anyway, that got approved. I just sent it to Renzo. I told Renzo I'll send you some sketches of a new character that's going to be in that. So you do your own stuff. So you don't need your character references, or you make up everything, right? But you do covers for other people. Do you find that stressful?
Not stressful. No, I wouldn't say it's stressful. Not really. I think it's because covers are, it's less of a commitment than doing interior pages. I don't have time to do interior pages for other people. I think it's exciting to do covers for other people. It's mostly just about finding the time.
Oh, good. So what would you rather do, the Patriarch or Mary Sue then for Heroic Tales?
Oh my. I guess Mary Sue. Last time you talked about you told me about MaryUe, and I remember her story. I like her, so yeah.
Yeah, she's debuting this issue.
Cool, awesome. Look forward to it.
Can't wait for people to read the story. I'm so excited.
Sweet.
I've been talking to a few people about covers and everything like that. It's funny because I just saw a message from Jason Sandberg. He retweeted, I want to have him do he does like a Jack Kirby kind of style. I'd like to have him do like a Jack Kirby homage to in one of my future issues. I'm just going to address the chat and then we'll keep on talking. We got Pity Ma, who I haven't seen in a while. How you doing, Pity Ma? You bring everybody to the chat. You bring everybody to the yard. Edwin Buzz, how you doing, Edwin? Maromi, how's it going?
Hello,
hello. I can never say it. Vin Zinzer.
Hola.
This freak over here. This guy's a jerk. How you doing? Andy, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a long time. John. We got Marcus over here. Well read. Oh, Marcus.
Yo.
You'll be happy to know that Renzo's going to be drawing the public eye in a couple of panels in that story. That'll be in comic book stores. That'll be pretty cool. Hyper Wizard, that's a cool name. TC,
hello.
That's a new name to me. These are all your people, I guess.
Hi. Yeah, no, it is.
Thank you. And for Renie's people, my book is on Kickstarter for a short time. I'm just doing a short month campaign. I did pretty well on Kickstarter last time. Don't want to leave money on the table. I didn't particularly enjoy Indiegogo. I found it difficult to work with. I did pretty bad on. Let me ask you that then. There's 3 platforms that I Fund My Comic, Kickstarter, Indiegogo. Which one's your home or choice?
Well, I've launched Fiendish 3. Fiendish 3 is on Indiegogo right now, and it's mostly for continuity's sake, because if since Fiendish 1, 2, and 2.5 were all on Indiegogo, returning customers will be looking for the next campaign on Indiegogo. And if you go to any of the previous Fiendish campaigns, Indiegogo has this button at the top, like go to the newest campaign in the series. So they automatically will send you to Fiendish 3. So it's just because I have a history built in there, that's really nice.
That's where your customers go through. Yeah, you don't want to change it up and alienate people. Yeah, I understand that. I'm excited for GameFound to buy Indiegogo because maybe the problems that I have with it, like I got shadow banned. Who am I to get shadow banned?
Yeah, I know. I do sympathize with people who've had that problem. I don't understand why, because it's like most people I know who've been shadow banned, there's just no reason for it.
Right.
I subjectively, anecdotally, I've had a really good experience, especially this time. But I don't know if it's because of the GameFound acquisition, because it seemed like they were tightening things up and whatever, and they have a new comics lead and who emailed me and asked me to discuss my campaign, asked me when I was launching and all that stuff. And when Fiendish 3 launched, they featured it on the front page, which nice. I wasn't expecting that. That was great. And
sounds like they're upping the customer service. That was another problem with Indiegogo.
Right.
There was nobody to talk to.
Right. So it has changed recently.
Good.
And I was wondering if it's because of acquisition, but for whatever reason, I'm glad it changed and I hope it continues.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to say I'm not keeping Fiendish 3 to just Indiegogo either. So Fiendish 2.5, which was a one-shot story, that launched on Fund My Comic because I support what Luke is doing with Fund My Comic. I like the people that built the platform, so I wanted to support them. But then I did a secondary campaign on Indiegogo, like I said, for continuity's sake. And I'm planning on bringing Fiendish 3 to both Fund My Comic and a Kickstarter in short order. Is I think
I don't believe it.
Money on the table. Why wouldn't I do that?
Right. Yeah. Just think of them as different flea markets. Because like you said about Luke, I think I have a good relationship with Luke. He's a great guy. He's just so calm and cool. I call him up, literally, I call him up crazy, yelling at him like a madman. And he's just like, okay, John. He's so calm and
chill.
Cool. Yeah, he's so chill. And he solves all my problems. Now he's drawing comics for me. He was giving me a little bit of assist with like formatting files because I didn't know how to do any of that stuff. He's just such a So I'm loyal to Luke. So I'm always going to launch on Fund My Comics. And then I asked him, "Is it okay if I go to Kickstarter?" He's like, "Yeah, John, you got to get the money. You got to get the money."
Luke's cool people.
He's a cool guy. He's a cool. So when next year when or my next campaign is going to be Patriarch #1. I'll probably try Indiegogo again because it'll be with Game Found. I'll give him another shot. Luke ate all your bacon. Well, I didn't say he was perfect. I didn't say he was perfect. I said he's a chill, good guy. But yeah, keep the bacon away from him. How you doing? These old names coming back. It's good. So what have you been up to? First off, I've been telling everybody how when anybody asks what are your favorite crowdfunded comics, I always say Fiendish is one of them. So,
thank you so much.
The praises of your comic. I really do like it. Your comic has got me like you lit like a fantasy bug. I'm a superhero guy.
yeah. I'm very much fantasy and actually a little sci-fi as well. But Fiendish is clearly fantasy, though with some scientific elements in the magic and all that stuff. But yeah. My goal obviously was I wanted like a real epic fantasy in a comic form.
Right. Last time we talked, you were talking about how you made up your own language and you have like a magic system, and you inspired me because I have a Doctor Strange magic, a musical, a magical superhero coming out. I'm not saying his name, but he's gonna probably debut in this comic that's gonna come out in comic stores. So I went and came up with a magic system for him.
Cool.
So like the difficult thing is I have like when he's casting his spells, I have to literally take pictures of my hand in the gestures, because there's going to be circles that match because they're symbols, and then I got
good, yeah.
Like the letterer is going to have to put in the appropriate vowels and things like that. So, so complications, but it's all. I was just going to have hope.
It makes it better.
It makes it better, and
yeah.
I would like to, if I got big dreams. If it's popular enough, I would like to publish like his spell book. Make like an old.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? Like a floppy comic book, but make it look like leather bound, and you open it up, and it's
I love that. I love in-world items. That's
Yeah.
the only type of merch that I buy.
I got for Patriarch #1. I'm talking to somebody about making like not an ad, but there's I had this idea for like a historical context. How could superheroes operate in a world of laws? You know what I mean? How can Batman just go around and beat up the Joker and not be arrested himself and stuff like that? Or Spider-Man, we all understand the Punisher is a vigilante who gets, but like, where's the wiggle room for Spider-Man and the X-Men and things like. So I came up with a historical context, and it's going to be based on documents, real documents. So I want to get this fake document made, to make it look like carvings and old English lettering and typecasts.
Cool. That's fun. That's imagine if what was it the government document in Civil War. What if Marvel made a replica of the actual bill and all that stuff?
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I would buy that, but I don't know who else would be.
This is going to be like old. I'm trying to talk about it without giving away what exists, and I want to make like my character, the Patriarch. He operates in Science City. I want to make a brochure like welcome to Science City, visit this.
Nice.
You know what I mean? The one guy I talked to was a professional. He was like, like $4,000 for that. I'm like, that's a lot for just a little giveaway thing. You know what I mean?
4,000.
Well, what I wanted was, I talked to a professional who makes brochures and everything like that. You know what I mean? So
okay. I can tell you places to get those things done for much cheaper.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not that difficult. I'm doing something similar for Fiendish with like I said, I like in-world items, so I'm going to make this replica of sorry?
I said I got your map. I love that.
Yeah, the map, but also like with this current campaign with Fiendish 3, I'm going to be making these replicas of one of my characters' travel notes and notes on the demons in the story, and it's going to be written in my constructed language. So it's as if you took Ragna's notes out of the comic and you're holding it in your hand. So I'm going to find somewhere like they're flyers, but I want to try to get them printed on like textured paper, so it's like parchment. Anyways, I love that kind of stuff. So yeah,
you're probably the only person who would appreciate this. or one of 3 people, but a couple of people were confused. I feel like I didn't explain it enough. But I made these cards, stretch goal cards for every $1,000. I mean, so this is for the first issue.
Cool.
But on the back, I made their character sheet.
Oh yeah! Awesome! Yes, that's the trading cards for Fiendish.
Yes, like a lot of people didn't understand. They're like, this graphic design is. I'm like, it's literally you take this Villains Vigilantes game and shrink down the character sheet, and they're like, oh, you know what I mean. So I needed to make people aware that this is a character sheet from a role playing game. You know what I mean? This is literally what the character sheet looks like. It's the same format that the game gives you. It gets, the last page you could rip out and photocopy. So I just shrunk it down and made the character sheet for the. It's funny because there's a Villains Vigilantes Facebook group, and they're all like, "Oh my god, they can't get enough."
Oh, that's so cool! I should start posting in like Pathfinder groups, see what they say. I have these are the trading cards for Fiendish.
Awesome.
And this was from chapter 1. This is Casimir, the main character, but on the back I have the stats, the character sheet. There's like super condensed character sheets for Pathfinder. Like everything is very condensed, but if you know the game, you know how to decipher everything.
Right.
And I even have hidden information because if you know Pathfinder, you can hide certain abilities and their traits and their class abilities. So I have like all these annotations, and you can if you get these cards and you know the game, you can decipher secret info.
Right. If you get these cards, you like a superhero, like you could literally know like how much the patriarch could bench press, how much his power.
That's cool.
Like I have these cards with me when I write this. I'm like, I got to look it up. If he's trying to lift a truck, and I look up the weight of a truck, I'm like, no, he can't.
Oh yeah, no, Pathfinder has the same mechanics. It's like your strength score, and then there's another chart you can look up in the handbook. Anyways, nerdery.
Only 25 hit points for Casimir.
This is at level 3.
Okay.
He levels up as the story progresses. So I'll have updated character sheets as the story goes on.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So I figured you'd be the one person who would understand what I'm doing, And again,
oh yeah.
I got Renie's crowd in the audience tonight. So I joke, but I don't joke that if my comic gets to $100,000, the $100,000 stretch goal is I'm flying Renie to New York, Renzo to New York, all my friends and we're gonna sit at that table and we're gonna role play. You're gonna play Casimir.
I'm down for it. I'm down for it. That's great. No, I already have the character sheet.
Yeah, you already got
Let's
the
play.
Yeah, all you gotta do is bring that way you can't cheat because I gotta ask Brian Bow with the stats for Batsy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, that's great.
We'll spend a whole weekend. We'll get New York pizza. We'll get White Castle. Everybody's gaining 20 pounds. We're gonna eat.
Hell yeah, it'll be great. No, I'm down. Let's get John's book to 100K now.
Only 95,000 more to go. So we're almost there.
Yeah. Yes. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You never know.
It's funny. And your role play. The joke in my group is somebody has to bring Funyuns, so we know it's going to be a bad night.
Oh boy.
do you have anything standard that you guys do for your role playing games? Is there a ritual?
No, I mean we play online, so there isn't really like, bring these snacks or anything. Yeah. The ritual is everybody's late.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Normal.
You guys don't get together in person anymore?
Well, we live in different countries, so it's a little difficult. Yeah. So we play. That's what we have to do. We have to do it.
Yeah. Because I have a friend who he brings his 3 sets of dice, his warrior dice, his wizard dice, and his and he can't. I can't touch him. I'm the game master, and if I touch his dice, he's like, dude, my wife barely plays and she has dice that I'm not allowed to like that is like the standard. You can't touch anybody else's dice.
No, yeah, but I don't think we really have that. But so I did my DM and a couple of a whole bunch of people in our group are in Colombia. So I have visited them in Colombia before. When we play in person, it's like we'll roll real dice, but that's just normal gamer superstition where this set of dice is giving me bad rolls, so you have to switch to this other set because it's like it resets everything and it has different luck.
One of the things that I'm real strict is like one of the guys would be like, okay, and I'm explaining something, and then they roll the dice. And villains vigilantes, the lower is the better. So they'll be like,
Okay,
I rolled a 2. And I'm like,
interesting.
I didn't tell you what's going on yet. And like, okay, can I bank that 2? No, you gotta wait.
Oh, of course not. No. Our
you
DM's the same
just
way.
wasted it too, because we all know
Yeah.
that there's limited numbers of good.
You have to know what the roll is, and then you roll it. You can't just roll it willy-nilly. And we even have this thing where in sense motive for Pathfinder, our GM doesn't even trust us to roll it ourselves. He asks us for our sense motive score on our character, and he rolls it in the dark. So, and he'll tell us what our character believes, because if you know the score, you can metagame.
Right.
So not that.
Like, I'm sure you can't see, but there's a stat called detect hidden, and it's like
that's like craft sense.
It's like your intuition. So like, people will be like, all right, can I detect hidden? I'm like, well, I kind of just, sometimes I'll just roll dice behind the screen and nothing, just to keep them on their toes. But they're like, what? I'm looking for something, and I roll the dice. And also, the lower the roll, like say they have a 40% chance to detect hidden and I roll an 07, I give them a lot of information. But if they have a 40% chance and I roll a 36, remember, lower is better underneath.
Interesting.
I give them a little bit of information. So I'm like, oh, you didn't really see anything. But they're like, did I roll bad? Or is there really nothing here? You know what I mean? Like, because
that's how it's supposed to be played, though. They shouldn't know the score.
It's like, I don't know, John, can I roll detected? Yeah, you know that there's goblins on the other side. You know what I mean? Once you tell them everything, you can't.
Yeah.
They want to know the bulge stats for being fiendish 3s. Everybody got
the bulge stat. The next bulge stat is 45k if you want the next trading card. So let's get to that bulge stat.
Yeah, it's not okay if you have different sets of dice for different. It's funny. One of my friends had a dice that just in order, whatever. Too many times it rolled 17. So that was a good dice, but he forgot that you're supposed to roll low in Villains of Vigilante.
Oh, yeah, that's so interesting. I didn't know. I never played that game. So
you're cheating wrong. It's a superhero role-playing game.
Interesting. Yeah, that much I know. I didn't know you rolled low. Is it still D20s?
Yeah, it's weird because you roll the die 20 low, but you roll the damage high. So you know what I mean?
That's so confusing. Why did I have to make it that way?
So this is another thing I want to work on in the future. And I've been talking to a few game designers. I want to make like a Heroic Tales superhero role-playing game loosely based on Villains Vigilantes. I already talked to the guy who owns Villains Vigilantes. He gave me his blessing, but I want to do it like, if your hit stat is an 11 and you rolled a 2, you succeeded by 9. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So make it, and that determines your damage. You know what I mean? So I want to make it so that everything is consistently low, and I like keeping it low because, your strength is 18. You rolled a 3, you succeeded by 16, you do 16 damage.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
interesting. In Pathfinder, you roll to exceed armor class, and then you roll damage.
Right. The armor class, we always end up talking about Dungeons & Dragons and Pathfinder, but you're one of the only people I can talk about this stuff with. One of the things about Dungeons & Dragons that always drove me crazy is, okay, so you're the dwarf in plate mail. Yeah. You know what I mean? And your armor class is whatever, 1, just say, really hard to hit. And then I miss, I can't hit you, and then I hit you, but once I do all regular damage, like armor is supposed to reduce damage. Like you should be easy to be hit, but hard to do damage to when you're armored. You know what I mean? Like it's easy to hit attack, but it's hard to do damage to attack. Like
I guess that's like a very technical thing.
Right.
Technically, it would be, you would still hit, but it would have DR or damage resistance. So you would take a certain number off of bludgeoning damage when you roll the damage score. So that's getting in the weeds, but that does make sense. Want to be extra nerdy about it.
Right. I'm confusing you with okay, so I got to ask you the ultimate nerdy question. Was Thaco too difficult to understand?
Thaco?
Yeah. Oh, geez. This is before your time then, huh?
It's before my time. I basically only know D&D and Pathfinder.
Yeah. Thaco was
Yeah.
with
Oh wait, I have heard about this. Yeah, I
2
that's
hit
before my
armor
time.
class 0.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the Thaco. So 2 hit armor class 0, you needed a 10.
Yeah.
So if you're facing a monster or a bad guy with the armor class 0, you needed a 10. So if it had an armor class of 3, you needed a 13 because it's 3 higher. You know what I mean? If your Thaco with all your modifiers, all your weapons, everything like that, Thaco is 10. If somebody has an armor class of 6, you need a 16 to hit them. So it's real easy to hit them. It's the easiest thing in the world that people are like so confused by Thaco. Yeah, Thaco is from the old ways. Yes.
Yeah, that's the old ways. Though in Pathfinder, you add 10 to the base armor class in Pathfinder is already 10. So you add any modifiers and deflection to the 10.
Yeah. Okay. I'm seeing if I'm chasing anybody away. People are saying that I need a beginner game for dummies. You know, it's funny that you said that, Pity Mark, because my friend Jimmy and I have always been like, we wanted to like go to the library and set up like a role playing group, you know, for newbies and specifically this Villains Vigilantes game that plays superheroes, you know, because there's a place around the block for me that they do Warhammer, they do Pathfinder, they do Dungeons and Dragons, but my niche would be a superhero role playing game.
Yeah, no, that would be fun. It's not that difficult to get into. Like, really, if you build, because the way you get into the game, you can have a preset character, but if you build a character from the ground up, like session 0 is you building the character, you know all the numbers and what everything means. So it's actually not that hard to learn, and you can start with an easy module, and you slowly ease into more and more complexity. So it's not as like, you have to do like a million lines of math at once. It's not that hard.
Thank you, Vaughn. Vaughn gave me a shout out of Heroic Tales update. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vaughn. And Vaughn, I'm rooting for you too. You're doing a good job of Finova. Can't wait for issue number 3. Phenomenal by Vaughn, and Fiendish 3 is coming. So put your link in the private chat so I can put it
so that's right.
So people
can I shall. Yeah. Let's see.
So you're still Pathfinder, right? You didn't give this new version of D&D a try?
No, I haven't. I mean, I've heard. I don't really play D&D anymore. I did 5e for a bit, but it didn't feel. Pathfinder was more my thing. And I think just because it's more realistic to me, there's more math and it's more of a headache, definitely, but at the same time it frustrated me in D&D when things would be so easy. Like in Pathfinder, if you go to sleep with damage, you wake up with that damage. Well, you can roll to recover some hit points with sleep, but you don't automatically wake up completely healed, is what I mean. In D&D, you just, at 5e at least, it was just so easy. It felt like baby times, and that's fine if people enjoy that, but I didn't. I wanted it to feel realistic. Like, if I just got stabbed and I go to sleep, I'm not going to wake up totally fine, right? So let's be realistic here. The point is immersion.
Right. Like in the Village Vigilantes game, everybody has a healing rate, and you get like 1 hit point back a day, unless you're like superpowers. You know what I mean? So like, you go to sleep for 8 hours. You got into a fight with the Red Skull. That was it. You know what I mean? And unless you had like armor or a shield or regeneration ability, like, you know, there was some consequences to it. Like one, and there really isn't that much healing powers. It's not a fantasy game, so it's like, you know, you burst into flames, you fly. You know, magicians aren't that common in superhero world, so it's like,
that's true. Yeah.
So we kind of led up to the battle. Each session was like an issue, so like there was a fight. You know what I mean? I tried to do that. Yeah.
That must feel like fun. Yeah, in Pathfinder, standard Pathfinder, it's really hard to heal because it's built for your group to have a healer. So the natural healing is nothing. But we actually homebrewed, or we home ruled to be able to roll for more hit points when you sleep, because our game was, for like the first 3 years, we had no healer. It was just rangers and like a goblin. So if we got hurt, we were just gonna stay that way.
Rangers and a goblin.
But Yeah. I was it was a ranger, a paladin who didn't know how to act like a paladin. A paladin that basically never really healed
I was
us.
gonna say
And
that's the whole thing.
also got thrown in jail, so he wasn't with the group for a while. And then we had a goblin, and I was the ranger. So most of the adventure, because there was a druid and some other people, but those players fell off. So it was my ranger and a goblin, and the goblin was constantly blowing both of us up. So we were constantly injured, and it's like we don't have healing, so we need a home rule to be able to sleep to recover, right? Because otherwise we die.
I like this. Down goes solo. Can you roll low and be worse off when you wake up? Wait till you get to about 35 to 40 and you sleep wrong. You wake up worse than, you got a crick in your neck or your back.
Oh no. Wait, that's real life.
In real life.
In real life.
Do I like goblins? It's funny that you said that, Vaughn, because I got a superhero story involving goblins, coming out. So I do like goblins. Don't highlight Vaughn's comment.
We highlighted it.
No one wants to be a healer. Do you what I know we talked about this before, but what do you said you play a ranger?
Well, I have multiple characters because our group is insane and we have like multiple modules that we play. But I prefer rangers. I do cast ranger, but I have some other characters. I like characters that are more, they can go off on their own and do stuff, which is why I did, I have a bunch of rangers and I do have a druid. But I did play healer once to challenge myself, and what I did was it was a half orc oracle, and so there was a bunch of other magic, but at the same could that character heal? I'm pretty sure he could, or at least he was a caster, so he could use healing wands.
Rangers should heal. I mean, the classic Aragorn ranger, and he, that was his whole thing.
Yeah, they do have divine magic, but my ranger couldn't because it was a spell-less ranger. But it was a ranger that specialized in crafting.
Ranger couldn't because he hates everybody.
Well, yeah, actually he did. Casimir is based off of him, so the ranger is a spell-less ranger. He didn't have healing or any magic, but he had other abilities that were like mechanical and crafting. And I would slowly build that path because in Pathfinder you have multiple paths. It's not just magic. You can have somebody that's good with like making robots and stuff. So I was like, I want a ranger who's really good at building things, and eventually he makes robots. It was really cool. But yeah, anyways, if I play a healer, they're not going to be some, oh my god, I love everyone, I just want to help. I can't play that. I need to kill things.
Right. Bat says that healer is a twink roll, and then I played a healer. Oh wow, Vaughn played a healer. Wow. What a coincidence.
Wow.
I'm too bloodthirsty to be a healer. There you go.
Yeah. No, if I play a healer, it'll be incidental that they can heal.
Yeah. When I play Dungeons & Dragons, I like to be a full-on wizard or a paladin. And we always house ruled it so like there was no race and class restrictions. Like dwarves could be wizards. I mean, if you read any mythology, the dwarves were always the ones doing the magic and stuff like that. So we made like a party of like dwarven paladins that were,
that sounds like fun. Yeah, Pathfinder's really strict with the paladin rules, and I'm just like, I don't trust myself to stick to them, so I just never play paladin.
Oh yeah, well I mean I don't know, I like that restriction. It forces you to be because like whenever you play, everybody's like, I'm chaotic neutral, and they think they could just do whatever they wanted. You know what I mean?
No.
But I like that. I played a lawful good wizard once for no reason. Just yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I actually have a really difficult time playing either. I just stay neutral. We've explored this in the game, and unless I'm just like true neutral to neutral good, it just never works out, so I've given up. Just stick to what I know.
Master Hobo says, would Pathfinder satisfy my bloodlust, Reenie?
Yes.
And by the way,
yes,
I'm getting your name correct. It only took a couple of years to stop calling you.
No, I mean, Irene's my name. It's fine. Either one is fine.
Okay, now don't confuse me.
Okay, it's my real name, but yes, Irene's fine as well.
Yeah, I'm old school, so when there was only like a few classes in Dungeons & Dragons. I never played warlocks. Now, what is the a warlock is like an evil sorcerer or something?
A warlock. Does Pathfinder have warlocks? I never played that class, but I bet it does. So the way Pathfinder works is, so this is also why I like Pathfinder, because D&D doesn't have as many classes. Pathfinder has tons of classes, and it's not just the Paizo's the company that makes Pathfinder. There's tons of third-party game companies that have their own their classes, and there are archetypes within each class as well. So you can have hybrid classes. You can have a slayer that is a cross between a rogue and a ranger, and multiple other types of classes like that. And for casters, you can have not just wizards and druids or clerics, but you can have oracles, you can have witches, and you can have different types of witches. And then within, that's why my ranger was a spellless ranger, because that's an archetype of ranger. And within each class, you have you can have up to dozens of archetypes, and they get small ability bonuses. The details of their class abilities will vary, so you can flavor your character a lot, and you can also customize it more by multi-classing or taking prestige classes. So you can basically, I've taken characters from manga that I like and just built it in Pathfinder, because that's how flexible the game is, and you have so many options with the magic system and the classes that you can build anything you can dream of. Funny enough, the one difficulty I'm having is building fiendish characters in Pathfinder, because the magic is just too different. You kind of have to limit yourself to only using elemental spells. But yeah, I forgot what the question was. Did that answer the question?
The question was, what is a warlock?
What? I don't know. But it's a, hold on, let me look, because it's all online. I'm gonna look it up and answer your question right now.
Oh, somebody says right here, warlocks in D&D get their magic from a patron of God. So it doesn't have to be an evil god. Like,
okay, there's a website called D20 PFSRD where it basically has everything in the Pathfinder handbook. Let's see. A warlock's classes, support
while you're looking
class.
that up, I want to address this comment. The comment, thank you guys. The comments are going by so fast. If I miss your comment, I'm not used to having a popular person on my channel and people are actually commenting. Usually it's Marcus just throwing in links. But anyway, I need to try Villains of Vigilantes. Yeah, I am like the sole champion of this game. The game is like, it's still in print technically. You can go to Fantasy Games Unlimited and pick up a copy. There's the second edition that the only difference is it has bad art. And then there's a third edition, which is called Living Legends, which is a completely different game. I don't like it. But I like Villains of Vigilantes. One of the things I like about it is there's a random role play. So like you just roll up everything and you could get some of the stupidest, most insane characters. Like my friend made up a character. He had stretching, water breathing, and wings. That was his superpowers. So what was the name of the superhero? The rubber duck. And we love that. He hated it, but we got him to like we let him be like the main superhero of the group. The rubber duck is here, and he never would have made up that character if it wasn't random. Then you could design your own characters, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And so yes, Master Hobo, if anybody's in New York, reach out to me. I would love to have other people play Villains of Vigilantes, and you'll learn some heroic tale secrets because it's all set in my comic book world. Warlocks get their powers from a swamp hag, a genie, an eldritch abomination, even from celestial beings. Okay, yeah, the rubber duck. I every once in a while, my friends are like, "You gonna put the rubber duck in your comics?" I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't.
Speaking of vigilantes, Alex VRB is right. Warlock is a vigilante archetype in Pathfinder. There's also a third-party class from Adamant Entertainment of a warlock, which is similar to a sorcerer, but they don't cast spells; they're just infused with magic. But yeah, that's one of the archetypes of this class. Huh? Vigilante is a base class.
I play a Dungeons and Dragons type game using the Villains Vigilantes rule, and one of the things that I did, and people, this is so I had like friends that were like not mad, but they just couldn't understand my logic. But I did away with all character classes. So if we're playing in my fantasy game, there's no character classes. You just, when you experience, you put your points and you train in what you want. You want to be a paladin, then you train and make a connection with like a holy god and stay on that path. You want to be a wizard? Okay, trained in intelligence and gathering spells and occult knowledge. But if you're a wizard and you're training in strength and sword skills, you're going to be a bad wizard. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. So like you could be multi-class. You could be a sword wielding wizard, but it's kind of like a jack of all trades, but master of none. So I like, so one of the things
Pathfinder's like that too. You have to pick what you're good at. You can't be good at everything.
Right. Like, if you don't specialize, you're never really going to be that good at anything. Although it's kind of fun. But then you're like a rogue, right? Rogues are always like a little good at everything, but really never a master of anything. Sounds like
that's true. They're good at stealth. They're glass cannons.
Power from a Lovecraftian evil rubber ducky. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like fun. I want to play that.
Giving me some stories. I'm definitely a bloodthirsty warrior. A bard. I gotta say, I hate bards. I hate bards. Okay. What do you think? Let's tell me about bards. Do you like them?
Well, I'm conflicted because I think it depends on who's playing them. Because the stereotypical bard is annoying as fuck, right? Just, oh my god, I'm so hot. I'm just gonna smoosh everybody, and that's kind of annoying to have to play with. But so, I always think of this bard character that one of our teammates came up with, who was a little Gripply. Gripplies are frog people, tiny frog people. Yeah, and they are a little Gripply named Hopsley who played it was like an accordion keyboard thing, so whatever that instrument is called, and he was delightful. He played alongside my character, who was a gingerbread man. Yes, you can play as a gingerbread man construct in Pathfinder, and he fought with the Earthbreaker. That was a baking mallet. Anyways, it was such a fun module, but that was delightful. It depends on the person who plays it, but basically, bards are inviting to players who want to be obnoxious. So I think that's more of the problem. The class itself can be fun. Because it's great social support. We never have healing and we never have social support because everybody has shit charisma. So I would be glad to have somebody that had social skills. Right.
I just think of I always think of Sir Robin, who bravely ran away. You know, I don't like it, and it's like I haven't. Thank God, like I haven't met like youngins, like these new people that are into D&D, like. The bard, like you said, the stereotypical bard is like, okay, you open up the door and there's a drow elf woman there with the evil sword. I try to seduce her. I'm like, dude, I'm a paladin. we got to kill.
Well, you know? If I was a GM, I would just give them real consequences for wanting to bang everything. It's like, okay, so roll for STDs from drows. Fuck off.
Yeah. Do you have the cure for cast scabby balls? Yeah, there you go.
Gross.
Yeah, I know. It kind of would be fun to do an all bard, like you were a rock band or something like that got thrown into a dungeon. You know, like
that would be fun if everyone's on that level. That
right. If everybody's into it. Okay. You just made me think of. Do you ever have like a one shot, like a specialty adventure that you guys play? Like I'll give you a little background. Like we play a superhero game, and then one of the guys I got the idea from the Next Generation with the flute, the inner light. One of the guys picked up a spear in the middle of a fight, like an artifact, and he downloaded the memories, and then everybody played a 2-story session of basically these cavemen, you know, inventing the spear to fight off this monster, and it was fun. But everybody was like, "Yeah, that was fun," but you know. It didn't really have any consequences because we're never going to come back to the story. But little did they know they were going to come back to the story, but just COVID happened.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. We like a themed short adventure.
We do, and what happens is this is why we have multiple characters in our group. Each person has multiple characters in our group because we'll do like a themed side quest that turns into not a side quest, and then we end up playing for a year, and then we never come back to the main game. So we have like every person has like 3 or 4 characters scattered across multiple modules, and the GM's intention is to bring it all together at the end, and it just hasn't happened yet. And I mean. I would love for that to happen. I miss the main story a lot, but we've diverged very much at this point.
That's one of the things I did was everybody had like 3 or 4 characters. So, you know, because at one point we had up to like 8 players and we were showing up consistently. But every once in a while, you know, somebody can't come. You know what I mean? It's life happens. You know what I mean? You can't get.
Yeah.
But I hated that like idea of like, Reenie's sleeping through this adventure, so somebody's just dragging your sleeping body. You know what I mean? I hate that. She's out looking for mushrooms, so then you missed it. So we didn't do that. Like you know, if I had A, B, and C here, A, B, and C had to be there to do that adventure. So I had other adventures. We had like 4 or 5.
That's exactly what happened to us, or people would drop out of the game. So it's like, or new players would come in and the GM would want to introduce them in like their own backstory back near where their character is from. And so we all make characters, and then that just becomes its own thing, and we never go back to the main plot. It happens.
Yeah. We didn't have, we had, you know, a few people, but we had a main superhero story. Then we had a super villain story. Everybody was villains. That was fun. And then we had 2 different fantasy campaigns. We basically had like 4 stories going on. Oh, then we had a pirate campaign. So we had 5 stories going on. But what they didn't know is that they were all intertwined. And we were playing for like 4 years. And I just get so mad. We were 2 sessions away from the big reveal about how they were all working on the same story, and then COVID happened, and then during COVID we were falling out because I'm like, I'm not getting this stupid shot, and they're like, we can't be friends anymore if you're not going to get
that sucks. So just take the character sheets and hand it to some other people and start again.
Oh yeah, but they don't get all the references that we're building up. You know what I mean? They don't.
That sucks. Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I think that just happens sometimes. I've stopped playing modules just because it's just. I haven't played in a while because I just don't have the time, but I feel kind of bad because I know everyone's working up to these plot points, but sometimes either it's just not a module that your character is advancing very much in, or it's not your thing. Like, I don't like pirate stuff. and recently the group's been playing a pirate thing, so I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna take a break until you guys go back to the city. And everybody probably hates me. They don't.
Now, you said modules. Does your GM use like prepackaged stories, or does he make up his own stories?
He usually does, but he always modifies them. He always changes it, or he merges modules, and he'll nest modules within like a larger story.
I can't use prepackaged story. Like, I'll buy them and mine them for ideas, but I have to make up my own stuff. I love pirate stuff. I love pirate stuff.
It's just not my thing. I don't know. Maybe there's some pirate media I should watch. I mean, I like Pirates of the Caribbean. It's not my thing.
The thing about
everybody's pissed off at me now. Oh no.
Is your character?
Is my character still? Yeah. I gave my GM permission to keep playing the character because I don't want to ruin the story. So I'm like, you can play him. It's fine.
You see, you got to throw in pirates. People are starting to refund the Phoenix.
Okay. I'll put pirates in Fiendish now. So don't refund. There you go. I saved it.
There you go. Pirates are very popular at LA. It took me a while to get it. So I answered this before, but we don't play unless every character is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't. The only time we'll stop a module or diverge if someone's just like chronically not there. But yeah, we've talked through modules of this character is just knocked out, or someone left. They just, I'll definitely be there next session. I'll definitely be there next session, and then the person just doesn't show up again. So it's like, so this character just left. We don't know where they went. Who knows? It's a mystery, and they just depart.
What I've never done I'm a pretty mean DM. I got a new group of players since I moved out here, so I know these guys for like less than 4 years. I already killed half their party, but I like to remind them that it's their action. You don't split the party. So first thing you know, these guys are experienced players and they split the party. But have you ever had a total party kill? Everybody died?
No, we've gotten really close, but no, we actually haven't. Yeah, man. I there have been points where I actually don't know how we survived. It's been like there's only one person still conscious who's at like 1 hit point. It's literally been that bad. But I'd asked my GM, like, did you let us live? He's like, no, I wanted to kill you all. You just got lucky.
I never play wanting to kill everybody, and I never play, I always say there has to be a chance of success and there has to be a chance of failure. Otherwise there's no tension. And if there's no tension, there's no fun. But I always do the same joke. As I take out the screen, I go, tonight's adventure is called TPK. You know, same.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have split the party before, but it's been, I'm not going to get into the actual story of it, but there was this whole section where it was just my ranger and the goblin running off because the goblin was disguising himself and got discovered in town as a goblin, so everybody was trying to kill him. So anyways, we had to flee. So I kind of made the choice for the both of us to leave, and then we got thrown into a hell dungeon on our own. But it is generally a bad idea to split the party. It's a pain in the ass because then you're if you and imagine a session where it's two people and it's just this is your thing that you're doing, and then the other people in the game are just sitting around waiting for you to finish your part of the story, and then it's vice versa. It's kind of frustrating, but it does happen sometimes. Best avoid it though.
TC says, imagine the Fetish cast in pirate costumes. Not only that, they're gonna be singing. They're gonna be singing pirates, like Pirates of Penzance. You know.
Oh my god! I don't know. I don't like you guys. Convince me to like pirates. I'm open to have my mind change. I don't know why it's not my thing.
If the goblin had been a bard, everybody would have loved him.
Yeah.
I describe my comic heroic tales as superheroes meet Dungeons and Dragons with a little bit of H.P. Lovecraft. Already in the first issue, you could probably notice a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons, but definitely in the second issue, you guys are going to notice a lot of Lovecraft, a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and I like to use. I flat out used the D&D monster in the Mary Sue story. I have an unofficial contest if anybody can name the monster that I used. It's an existing D&D monster, but I like to put a different spin on everything like that. Like I used goblins, and goblins are the part of the Fae race. They're evil Fae, right? And in my world, all Fae they're insects. So when you see this beautiful fairy queen, that's her glamour, and if she gets doused with iron, the iron interferes with her ability to absorb, because iron will stop. Like if the sun's core turns to iron, a sun will stop its nuclear fusion and explode. So iron is like the death of a sun, unless it's supermassive. So iron will stop the soul. So that's why iron. I always think of this stupid stuff. So that's why iron is
cool.
anathema to fairy. So if they get iron on them, it stops their ability to absorb solar radiation to cast this glamour, and then you'll see them in a horrible insect form. So that's what a hag is a fairy that's been poisoned by iron, and they can't produce this glamour. And that's what fairy dust is. You ever touch a moth and you get that dust? That's what fairy dust is.
Interesting.
So anyway, goblins are
that's really cool. I like that idea.
So goblins are just locusts. With this glamour on, but they're not good at the glamour, so they look like horrible humans. But if they get poisoned by iron, you'll see them as basically little locusts running around.
I really like the idea that Fae are all insectoids.
Yeah, the big like Titana and Oberon are really like praying mantises. They're the cool.
Yeah, no, that's fun.
And the sexy, nymphs and stuff like that. They're like ladybugs, and but then you got like bombardier beetles. Those would be like Umbra Hulks, and the trolls and things like that would be, the bigger monstrous insects. Tarantulas are arachnids, but you get the point.
Yeah.
Bad news. Dust. Yeah. Fairy dust and angel dust. Yeah. Enjoy getting on. Reenie gives the chat your best pirate talk.
Argo, matey, you're gonna walk the plank now. It just turns into a southern accent. I can't do it.
Yeah, I know.
Arg!
Does your DM do voices and accents and stuff?
Yeah, he does voices, not really accents. But yeah, no, he's very good at voices.
I'm terrible. Like, it's funny because everybody jokes with me. It's like, okay, here comes the Drow elf queen assassin from below the depths. Yes, she has a New York accent. I don't want to hear it. Because John, the Drow queen sounds like she's gonna break my windows and extort me for protection money. Yeah, I can't do voices. I'm not an actor.
No, I'm not good at. I can't do accents either. I can do voices. So like if I had a voice act for something, it'd be fine. But accents are so hard. I can't. I
So
can do
tell
a
us about
Chinese accent and a Russian accent. That's it.
tell us about Fiendish. We've been talking about.
Ah.
So you got this
So
comic over here,
Fiendish.
and it's doing pretty good.
Yes. Yes. I have props. Let's see. I should. Let me be a proper professional. So Fiendish is here. Look. Real books that have been printed. Fiendish is my fantasy mystery comic series. The story premise is follows a group of misfits as they search for the truth behind a demonic infestation in their world. And my goal with this comic is to make a very immersive long form fantasy. So as you had mentioned, I am very high commitment with the world building. I created my own fantasy language. I have a world map. I actually was just puttering around and fixing up the website earlier today because I definitely don't have actual drawing to do and I have time for that. But anyways, if you go on the website, fiendishcomic.com, I have a huge about section. There's character profiles. I have a world map and a list of species, even a pantheon that nobody reads because there aren't pictures in it yet. But yeah, very expansive fantasy world. But of course, it's all held together by the character journeys. If you go to like the main page of this campaign, I have little character blurbs because that's what I think stories should be led by, and actually have a little version of it at the beginning of this book. So look at this. Every book, my last time on Fiendish section are these little character profiles like that. And my core characters are Casimir, my main character, who's the sole survivor of this demon attack when he was a child. So he's sort of the one that he remembers clues in his memory to uncover what's behind these demons. Because of course, there's more than just demons in the woods. There's a whole world-changing mystery that the story will eventually lead to, but it's slowly being revealed, right? It's a mystery story. It's not just fantasy. It's not just hunting demons. There's somebody behind all of this. And then there's Iskul, his apprentice, who has this weird curse, and Yomi, who's quickly becoming the favorite of the series, more so than even Casimir, but that's fine. As long as people do like a character, I'm fine with it. But
as long as I like one of your characters, that's Yomi.
Yeah, no, people really like Yomi.
for because she has just walking down the street is dangerous for her. She doesn't have, like maybe I'm wrong, but Casimir, he could just go into a farming village and live the rest of his life in peace. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, definitely. No, I completely understand why people like Yomi. She has more of a struggle right now.
Right. There's nothing she could do about it. Just the world is against her, and that gives her stakes. And that immediately evokes feelings. Yeah, she's my favorite. Like, I didn't feel anything for the apprentice character, I think, until the second book, until I understood what his curse was.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Oh, okay. He was just like a good kid. You know what I mean?
Oh, I totally get it. I revealed very little about him in the first book. The first book was mostly focused on Casimir.
Correct.
And then the second book was both Iskul and Yomi. So every book I kind of think about one or two characters that take the lead with their narrative, and the other characters have stuff going on too. But I think, especially with the first two books, I shifted focus from one character to the next. And book 3 is much more an all around everybody has development. I'm kind of I've been pitching book 3 as this is where all the threads come together. So plot, action, character, all the inter-character conflicts, but also the mystery and the world building, they fit together. You start seeing the puzzle pieces. And I'm introducing a new villain. As you can see here, there's a mystery villain. I haven't named him yet, but I've shown his design, and he will be introduced in this book. And you'll start seeing why the story isn't just about hunting demons. There's definitely more behind everything.
Oh, cool. So you got this cool pirate villain.
Yeah, definitely. This pirate guy. This pirate in the woods.
Ragnar, the woman, the elementalist wizard. Like, I didn't like her at first because she was mean to
it's okay. She's supposed to be kind of a bitch.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, I think people are afraid of writing characters that are jerks, but I wanted to embrace that. And the team is very much structured to offset each other. So Casimir is kind of a jerk sometimes. Iskul is meant to offset that, and Nina and Iskul are there to soften him up and show that, well, he does care about his teammates and his little cousin. He has a lot of problems to work through on his own, and Ragna is a bitch. But there's reasons for that, and she cares for Casimir, as you'll see as the story continues. So these are things that can change.
Knowing your world, because I talked to you a few times, I read all your books. I understood why she behaved why she did. You know what I mean? But I also know what's her name, Yomi. I also know her story. So I'm like, but it ain't like that. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yomi just makes Yomi more sympathetic. And for people who, if there's anybody new who hasn't read Fiendish 2, doesn't know, Yomi is a escaped dev slave. So dev are this race in my story because except for humans, I created my own fantasy species, or I call them species because they are species. They can't interbreed like D&D. And all dev are
to her as a slave.
Hmm?
I said that adds a whole new element to her as a slave.
Yeah, and she is a slave because all dev are slaves in this world, and she, after the demon that attacked the group in chapter 1 destroyed the caravan, her former masters, she decides to run away with Casimir and Iskal. So she's basically an escaped slave at this point because she didn't want to be resold into servitude. So she has probably the most compelling journey at this point because everything is dangerous for her. She's this young girl on her own who's ran away with these 2 strange guys in the woods, and she's got a really great journey. I'm excited for it.
And you don't shy away. Like I'm beating around the bush because I don't want to spoil your book. I know we talked about it explicitly in the last time you're on, but you don't shy away from controversial things in your world.
I guess so.
Well, I mean, slavery is kind of controversial. You know what I mean? And especially it's right. The dev race is sexually dimorphic. The men are big brutes that are used for like get in the mines, get those rocks, and the women are not used for that. I'll leave that to you.
No, they're used for something else.
Right. And the fact that you can't breed with them kind of adds a little bit of, just around. Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
Matt,
hello.
Yeah, Matt did a page for me in my first book. He's doing a page for me in my second book. He did a secret cover that I didn't reveal yet. That'll probably be for either a second print or a trade paperback. I can't wait to show this cover. It's so good. Yeah, Yomi. Cool. Everybody loves Yomi. She has the most stakes.
She plays such a big part in the story, and I thought it would be interesting to write a character who she has no powers. She never will have any special powers, but just her strength is her morality and her reasoning, and that changes all the other characters as the story goes on. Let's just say that.
Could she I forget is magic ability like racial based or is it a skill based?
It is. It's racial. It's both. So in chapter 2, I need to add this to the website. I explained a little bit about the magic system, or at least rune casting, which is one of the magic systems. It's the primary magic system that you see in the book because it's the one that humans use, but the actual magic system that every character has is based on their species. So for example, humans have this elementally based magic system, and the way it works is it's all explained here. They have a natural resonance with one of the elemental planes, and they, depending on which plane they resonate with, they can learn to cast runes or sing hymns or use some kind of learned ability to manipulate that element. And some strong casters can also look on this chart. If somebody resonates with air, they'll also be able to cast some cold runes and some death runes. That's how it works. So usually people have 1, but some strong casters will have 3. Ragna is a monster weirdo. She's a special human subrace called Ispaliad who have stronger magic. So she actually can cast 4 elements. So she just starts out super overpowered and strong, but most people just have like 1 or 2. But that's the human magic system, so it's both innate and learned. Other species have most other species, they have more just innate powers. So they're born just being able to manipulate something, or born being able to, I don't know, merge into stone. That's one of the other species that I've came up with that you haven't seen yet. But yeah, that's how it works.
It's just like in the world of Harry Potter, it's like you're born a magician, and I always thought that like that took a little bit of the allure out. Like I like the idea of like anybody could be a magician, like but like it anybody could be a football player. Doesn't mean you're gonna be a good like if
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you
That's
train,
how I thought of.
yeah.
So
But
that's
like,
how I thought of rune casting.
you know, you're whatever. You're this type of person. You can't play football. You know.
Yeah. So the way I thought of how humans can learn rune casting is like drawing ability. So I mean, anyone can draw,
Right.
but some people only can draw a box, and so you can do it, but it depends on how much talent you have and how much you train. So all of these things factor into whether someone is an actual caster, and that's why shamans are trained scholars and casters, and it's a formal order in the continent of Arvos and everything. They're the most like ordered, formal thing, the structured thing that is features in the story of Fiendish. But they that's why there are so few shamans, even though all humans have this elemental ability. For most people, it's just a tiny little bit. Like, oh my god, I can raise a pebble or something. So yeah, that's magic, but you never practice. You don't have a lot of talent. You're just a normal person other than that one little thing, right? But if someone has both ability and training, then they can, I don't know, move giant hills of stone.
I picture like in my fantasy world, like not everybody is going to be like riding off into battle with your staff, but like I picture like you learn enough magic so that like you could cast a spell and the soup stirs itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of like yes.
Potatoes peel. It's like you do enough like household magic. Technically, you're a spellcaster, but you're not like you know, like singing in the shower. You're a singer, but you ain't nobody's paying for that stuff kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, it's just like that. Yep. Felt like that was more realistic.
That's exactly what Rini was saying. Down goes. So if you
that's totally what I was saying. Yes.
Okay. Not I just want you to know that. you're barely even sentient unless you could draw.
Oh no, I didn't say that. My God.
Well, I have to be on with RJ at 8:30. So
okay.
as always, when I talk to you, I lose track of time, and we just both of us could just gab all night. The Patreon needs to fight Casimir. Oh, you know, we do its on Friday nights where we pick two characters and battle them. It has to be published. You know, you can't just say the character that I just made up. That's not published. So there has to be some sort of like text. So I'm sure, you know, you're too busy to buy and read my comic. But who do you think would win, the Patriarch or Casimir?
No, I mean, I know enough about the Patriarch. It's listen, the Patriarch has actual superpowers and stuff. Casimir at this point doesn't. So I've gotten that question before. A while ago, somebody on Twitter was like pitting characters from different crowdfunded indie books to get against each other, and I'm like, guys, Casimir is gonna lose. He's a regular guy at this point. Like he's just he's a survivalist. His strength is more in what he knows, right? The only supernatural ability that's been revealed up until now, because you guys haven't read book 3, is he's not burned by these weird demons. Okay, well, there's a whole other thing. He's a survivalist, he's a good hunter, but he doesn't have like super strength or anything, right? So my characters are more than their superpowers, but who knows, as the story progresses,
finally one of my characters could beat somebody, because everybody's like, who would win, the Patriarch or Spider-Man? I'm like, oh, Spider-Man. Because I like weaker characters. Like the Patriarch is powerful, he uses his skills, he could do a lot of good feats. But to make an overpowered character, I think is like it's like a rookie mistake or a sign of like amateurism. Like, you know, like, oh, my character could be Galactus. Well, then why do I want to read this overpowered character? Even Galactus had to be nerfed with the ultimate nullifier because Jack and Stan made him too powerful.
Yeah, you know? Characters are so much more than their powers.
That's my little trade, is making a character too powerful ruins the character. Unless they're super powerful in a specific way that like doesn't really, you know, like, I don't know. I almost gave another spoiler.
Yeah, well, if they're powerful, they need to have weaknesses as well. Right. And so what I have done is Ragna, compared to all the other characters on the team, she's super powerful right now. But later on in the story, you'll see that she's really not that powerful in comparison, and there are downsides to having that power. There are sacrifices that have to be made because these are real people and they're not defined by, oh my gosh, I can just blast through a wall. Well, what else is there? What is their development that's not just their powers getting stronger? They must have some other struggle.
Marcus says the patriarch can hunt with Casimir. Yeah,
there you go.
There's a scene where the patriarch is going home and he realized he's got 7 kids to feed. The winter's coming, so he swoops down and he grabs an elk and cracks its neck and brings it home, and then his son starts skinning it.
But you have to track and find the elk first. Okay, tracking competition. We can roll for that. Between Patriarch and Casimir.
He was flying and he saw it. You know what I mean? So he.
Okay.
But
he can fly. Okay, fair enough.
The patriarch family live off the grid. They hunt. They homeschool. You know what I mean? He doesn't even use money. He uses gold coins that he finds using his abilities because he doesn't want anybody to know anything about him and his family. It's an in-story reason that I didn't reveal.
The ultimate fantasy.
You'd probably get, now that I'm talking about it, they wouldn't fight. They would probably land and you'd be like, you hunted that? Oh, cool. Without even power.
Probably.
You don't
they
even
would be friends.
Yeah, that's cool. Tell me.
They'd be cool.
Yeah, that
get creative about
kind of family.
No.
The funny thing is, I was in a bar in Albuquerque, and this is what inspired that scene. Was guy kicked open the door, and him and his wife brought an elk, and they literally threw it down on the floor of the bar, and the bartender gave him a tab, and that's how they paid for their drinks for the season.
That's great.
In all the New York, when I tell that story, all the city folk go nuts, and it's funny.
That's awesome.
All the country people said, "Oh, I like that story that the patriarch actually hunts for food," and all the city people are like, "Oh man, that was the most disturbing." I'm like, "Where do you think your hamburger comes from?"
Why is that disturbing?
Because I live in New York now, but I lived in the country for a while. But it's
right.
We forget. Like I dated a girl in college that grew up on a pig farm. Most beautiful girl, beautiful blonde, looked like a movie star and everything like that. And every once in a while, she would get drunk and be like, "Yeah, I got to go home. It's pig culling season." Like, "What do you do?" She's like, "I shotgun the pigs with my dad." And, and everybody's like horrified.
No, okay. Like, I'm a city girl, but my family in Taiwan, they were farmers. Like, my grandma's family was a farmer, so they got this big. They're like potato farmers and stuff, but it's like they'll kill chickens when we go there for Chinese New Year's, and they've got like other animals. So I think a lot of people, especially in the States, they just grow up so far from that. They think, I don't know, your beef just grows on trees or something, just magically appears.
I had a different girlfriend also in Albuquerque, and there was a chicken on her lawn. I wasn't there, thank God, because I was fresh from the city. I would have been horrified. And there was a chicken on, so she ran out, grabbed it, and spun it over her head, plucked it, and cooked it. So I come over for dinner for fresh chicken, and
oh my God,
she's like, "Yeah, this was on my lawn this morning."
Oh my God,
but that's the way the most of the world is,
Yeah. True.
Yeah. I got married at 38, guys. I wasn't a saint. My wife she says, "Don't tell me about your past."
Oh no.
But speaking of that, I got to get going. I got to RJ comes on the show. We talk comics. That RJ, he's another guy who hunts. He loves.
Yeah.
He actually gave me.
Sounds like he hunts.
Yeah. He lives. He built his own house. He chopped wood, built his own.
Really,
house.
RJ from the Fourth Age, right? Not Critical Blast RJ. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, he's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've talked to him in a while. But that's awesome.
When I hit 100,000, but he's gonna wear a mask. I don't even know what he looks like. I've been talking to him for years.
Yeah.
And he's gonna
gotta be anonymous.
Yeah. So anyway, anything you want to say before I shut down? I'll bring up your campaign again.
Okay, no, thank you. No, just check out Fiendish 3 right now in Indiegogo. I just sent out an email blast as well that updated everybody on Fiendish 3 hitting 40K, and also the fact that Fiendish is now on Global Comics. Well, it's been on Global Comics for a while, but the first batch of GC Toons, that is Global Comics vertical like mobile reading format. Fiendish 1 is complete on that format now, so you can go read that on mobile. It's totally free. I spent the last year expanding the readership of Fiendish, so I have Japanese, Spanish editions, and you also have a mobile format now on Global Comics. So go check out Fiendish on there.
An edition all in that language.
Wait, what? In what, like in Narsa?
Yeah, you should make it no English, all in that made up language, just for like the real hardcore fans.
Yeah. If I had all the time in the world, I definitely would do that. Definitely. But yeah, no, other than that, I have some stretch goals that I'm looking at that are pretty cool, such as a free blank sketch cover variant that I want to give to everybody that bought original art and the big box tier. That's the give me everything tier on this campaign, if we can reach a high enough stretch goal. So go check the updates. All the information and new stuff is on there. There's a lot of fun stuff that we're looking at. And thanks for having me on. Thank you guys so much.
But before you go, I mean, we got a lot of your people who probably don't know me. So if I may pitch my comic.
Oh, absolutely. No, do it.
Fans. Like I said, I'm normally on Fund My Comic, but right now I got where am I? I got a short campaign running. Oh, geez, I'm hitting wrong buttons. I got a short campaign on Kickstarter, but it doesn't matter to me which one you go to. Although this one I got to get to 500, otherwise it doesn't work. But my comic is this is Mary Sue. As you can see, this art is legit. This is full on superhero comic book art by Renzo Rodriguez. The colors here are by Oscar Carrano. I just absolutely love it. And here is it's a flip book. So if you see this, you get two covers because I couldn't decide which was the main character or not. So I said, whichever. So the Mary Sue story will be upside down. You flip it over, it's right side up, and then the Patriarch story. So it's a flip book. Here is the cover of the Patriarch fighting the Subterranean. This is Renzo Rodriguez doing the art, and then Daniel De La Silva doing the color. Here's the cover, and then here's the variant cover by Jose Garcia. That's the Subterranean.
Yeah, Jose is great.
And then this is Josh Howard doing Mary Sue cover, and I got a cosplay cover by Martina Marcota.
Cool.
And then I had to do the flip of so here's the Patriarch. And here's the interior art, everybody. Like I said, it's a little sexy. It's nothing explicit. If you didn't see it in the Bronze Age, you're not going to see it in my comics. We forget the Bronze Age pushed the limits a bit. So I mean, it's beautiful artwork here. Oh, here you go, Reenie. Can you see the monsters? You're a D&D guy. Can you name the monster?
It's too small on the screen. Hold on, let me begin. What are those? Oh my gosh!
And here, I think there's a better.
They're big frog things.
Yeah, the extra dimensional frog things.
Extra dimensional frog things.
Yeah. They're D&D.
No, I can't think of it. I failed. I failed.
Do you know?
Yeah. I've heard of them. Yeah, we've never encountered them before, which is why I don't know.
Yeah, one of my friend's favorite monsters. So he's like, you got to put in slats. So I worked in it. So this is the artwork of Mary Sue, and then I got cards, I got T-shirts, I got a pint glass. These are the cards from the first issue. I'm gonna have another 7 cards for the second issue. Right now, everybody gets a Mary Sue card, they get a King Fu card, and they're gonna get a Subterranean card. I gotta update this. We hit that stretch goal. So and then there's everybody else. But you could get the first issue, the second issue, a bundle of everything. Typical campaign. I just wanted to push it because we got a lot of people watching. So there you go. And it's Kickstarter.
Awesome.
You don't have to pay for 6 weeks. So there you go. Or you can go to Fund My Comic, back it, pay for it right now, and don't worry about it. So there you go, everybody. All right. Thank you for letting me pitch because I know we got a lot of people watching. We got over 200 people watching.
Go ahead. Hell yeah. Thanks for having me on, and
come back whenever you want,
everybody. I should be streaming later, by the way, on my channel. So not right away, but I'm going to be doing some artwork. So pop by in like an hour or two, and hopefully I'll see you guys there.
Okay, and tomorrow I have Post Tensions with Fabrizio Aiello. That's we're going to take Concrete #1. We're going to talk about that. Friday it's Clobbering Time. We're going to talk about James Bond versus Indiana Jones. And then Sunday comics, I've been talking about the classic X-Men runs at 10 a.m. So there you go. That's my week itinerary. I'll see you, everybody. Thanks a lot, Renie. It's always a blast talking to you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks. Later.
Bye-bye, everybody.